everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hello, if you are new here, my name is Chelsea. This is my channel where I post things all to do with the home. I post DIYs, like DIY home decor. I take you shopping, do a little bit of homeware shopping, that sort of stuff. Basically, this is my channel for home stuff because I like home stuff. But anyway, today's video is going to be a Poundland DIY, a DIY video where I go into Poundland, pick a few pieces and then upcycle them into something more to my style. It may not be to your taste, that's absolutely fine, but I just want to share a few ideas with you, maybe to spark a little bit of interest. Interest? That's not the word I was going for. To spark a little bit of inspiration. That was more like it. So for the first DIY, it's actually quite funny because I made something similar to this a few weeks ago now in order to be part of my shop with the Easter spring kind of DIY, but I thought I'd make a Poundland version just because of something that I've seen on Instagram recently sold in Walmart in the US. I think it's Walmart, could be Target, one of the two, and it's basically a carrot patch sign. So I'm going to show you how I made that right now with the bits from Poundland. So the frame that I used as the part of the DIY was this photo frame. I've used this before in another DIY before, but basically it's a really nice box frame to be able to use. You could just remove the pegs and then pull out the twine and you're left with a nice good base with a white background and then a wooden frame around it. If you struggle a little bit, make sure you take some pliers just to remove any of the excess kind of twine. What I went ahead and did was used a black Posca paint pen and just sketched out the words carrot patch. I used a pencil to begin with to make a curve and then I just wrote along that curve, just freehanding out some scripted text. I then thickened it out using the Posca pen again, and yeah, this took me around about, I don't know, 15 minutes to do this in total, and I'm really happy with the fact that it turned out so well. I feel like I could have spaced it a little bit better, but I just freehanded it, to be honest. If you're not confident in your freehanding abilities, you can obviously print this out on a piece of paper, stick it in. You can also decoupage it in, so printing out on some white tissue paper and then sticking that down with a bit of Mod Podge as well. That has worked out previously for me in other DIYs. So like I said, I just freehanded this with the Posca pen, I filled in the other bits. I realised that I could have made it a little bit, spaced out a little bit better, so I just used some swirly, twirly little bits on the ends of and start of each of the letters just to make it space a little bit better and make it look a little bit more kind of flowy, if that makes sense. On the bottom, I just painted a carrot using some acrylic paint. So I just pumped out the acrylic paint onto some of those pieces of paper that I actually removed from the photo frame to begin with and then just painted away. Because the base was kind of shiny, the first coat I put on really thin just to, dry really fast so that it kind of worked as a primer. And then after that, the paint went on no problem. I was able to blend just like usual. So I just painted on a carrot. I'd never painted a carrot until the other day actually, when I made another sign like this for my store. So I kind of knew what I was doing, but I just went in with a bit of orange to paint the carrot and then some, greens and stuff just to make the kind of green bit of the carrot. So if you've been around for a while, you would have seen me do something similar to this in autumn time when I made the harvest sign. But this is how the carrot patch sign has turned out. I absolutely love it. It was really simple to do. Did it in less than half an hour with drying time. And yeah, really happy with that. I think it's the perfect farmhouse piece. And like I said, the frame was from Poundland and then the rest was just made with acrylics and Posca pens that I already had. I will leave everything down in the description bar kind of down below so you can check out all the products that I used for this. But yeah, it's a great alternative, a good little kind of cheapy piece, and I think it looks really effective. So for the second DIY, I actually just really kept this one really simple because I actually wanted these pieces. I've been looking for something similar. Then I seen the coloured pieces in Poundland. I was looking for white ones, so I've basically just taken something and sprayed it white. So I'll just share that with you now. So I have been looking for some white rabbits for the longest of time. I wanted them super cheap because, to be honest, I'll only be using them around about Easter time. But when I went into Poundland the other day, I seen these ones and I was like, perfect. I have some white spray paint at home. So this is the white spray paint I used. It's the all surface spray paint by Rust-Oleum and I used it in a flat matte white. I love to spray paint with matte whites. I just think it makes everything look so more farmhousey and just country-esque and just a little bit less in your face. So yeah, I just spray painted away and just did 2 coats in total of this. So I left it to dry in the sun in between each coat, and like I said, I did 2 layers in total. So this is how the bunnies have turned out. They're looking nice and white, which is just what I wanted. I did 2 coats of the spray paint in total, letting it to dry in between each coat, and now they are fully dry, fully locked and loaded. Didn't bother doing the bottoms because they're just going to stand up anyway. So the reason that I actually wanted these is because I managed to find one of these bowls in a charity shop this week, which is something I've been after since about Halloween time last year. I was determined to find one in a charity shop. I didn't want to pay more than I had to. I seen one in TK Maxx not so long ago for $12.99. I almost caved. I think it might have been last weekend actually, but I'm so glad I didn't, as I found this one here in the charity shop in the sale for 50p. I love my local charity shops, 50p sales. So it was actually £2 originally in the charity shop, which I would have been happy to pay, but like I said, it was a sale deal. Everything bric-a-brac was 50p. I was like, oh, gonna jump on that, so I picked it up. My idea for this is to put it down, look at that, matches my sideboard perfectly, and then have the rabbits either side. So this is why I got them facing like this, you know, so that they would go either side of that bowl. Oh my goodness, it's worked out just how I wanted. Let me just move you that. Look at this. Yes! Oh, I love that. Oh yeah, I'm so happy with that. Cannot wait to style it. So you have to wait till like I do like an Easter decorate with me video or something like that to see the final piece. But I love that. The bowl needs a good clean and everything, but you know. So for the third and final DIY, this one here again is really simple. It's just another box frame. It's something that may inspire you, you know, to be able to put in the background of a few pieces if you've got like a dresser with some pottery on. So yeah, I'm just going to jump in and share that one with you right now too. So for the third and final DIY, I used this sign that I got in the Poundland sale. This was 25p. I've seen a few very similar like this in the new season, so just go in there and find what you can in terms of a box frame. I took the backing out just to use that as a template to cut out a rough shape of the hessian. This just pulled out really easy because it was only stapled in anyway, so just pop that out and then just cut around it loosely. I decided I wanted it to look a little bit more kind of rustic, a little bit more shabby chic-esque rather than being all put together. So I actually just painted all around the edges to cover up some of that like geometric deer print, and then like frayed off the edges of the hessian just to make it, like I said, a little bit more rustic. And then I just glued it down so that I had some white edges like all the way around the frame. I then took some white acrylic paint and painted on the silhouette of a bunny. I just freehanded this, but again, if you don't want to freehand it, you can use a pen just to sketch it out, then fill it in. You can cut it out from a piece of paper or cardstock, put that on, maybe even like buy a little MDF bunny, something like that. I know Hobbycraft have a few little MDF shapes, that sort of stuff. You could stick that on as well as a different alternative. Once I had this all painted and nicely kind of opaque on the hessian, I just moved on and tied a rattan bow. I then hot glued that down into place and hot glued a few extra kind of stalks of the rattan just to thicken it up a little bit, because I felt like the bow looked a little bit weak here. So like I said, I just put a few offcuts on there to thicken it up. Once that was done, my little shadow box frame was then complete. So this is how the box frame has turned out. It's nice and rustic, nice and shabby, cheeky. It honestly was so simple. This frame was 25p in the sale section in Poundland, and then the other bits I already had. Obviously the bunny is just an acrylic kind of painting, and yeah, 25p for that. I thought that was a bit of a steal. So I think in the background, like, look at that. That looks super cute, doesn't it? Adds a little kind of, I was going to say festive touch. Is it a festive touch? No, just a spring touch. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It's given you a little bit of inspiration, like I said at the start of the video. Hopefully, if you do end up making any of these, be sure to tag me on Instagram. I always leave my details and stuff like that down in the description as well. So you just click on it and then just scroll down to the bottom. There should be a link you can just click through, no matter if you're on like mobile, desktop, anything like that. I'd love to have you over there. So give me a little follow. Send me any of your pictures pictures over, you can send them to me on like your stories, DMs, that sort of stuff. I try to put you on my stories and put you under a little highlights tab called your DIYs. So yeah, do remind me to do that, because sometimes I forget, then I go through and I have like 20 in one day. So anyway, I would love for you to share me your pictures, love for you to share me any of your ideas that you've been working on, Poundland DIYs, anything like that. Hopefully you have enjoyed today's video, and I will see you very soon for another one. Bye!